Talking some football finally. Josh Allen wins the MVP over Lamar Jackson. He's the first player to win MVP while not being a first-team All-Pro player in 21 seasons. Yes, that's how long it's been. In fact, there are so many other precedents to this award, the MVP, that would go in favor of Lamar Jackson that I'm not going to sit here and bore you with listing them all out. Instead, I'm going to tell you the truth of the matter in which why Josh Allen was named MVP over Lamar. And it wasn't the divisional round win, even though we all did agree whoever wins that game deserves to get the trophy because, hell, that's the game that matters most. It was the game to see who can challenge the throne that was Patrick Mahomes. Josh Allen won this award for 3 reasons. Number one was voter fatigue. And my criticism of any NFL MVP voter who decided not only to put Josh Allen ahead of Lamar because you were tired, I guess, of checking a box, or maybe the voter who somehow, some way found a reason to make Lamar 4th on his MVP ballot. Did you see that, C-Cat?
I did. He had a 4th place vote. It was 0-1.
A 4th place vote is actually absolutely crazy. And that person, whoever that is, I'm not sure if they've been outed yet, needs to have their vote rescinded. If you are in a position where you have quote-unquote voter fatigue, then maybe you need to pass your vote on to someone who takes maybe a little bit more honor in having such a prestigious, such a prestigious, I don't want to call it a responsibility. It's really a privilege of deciding who the MVP is.
It's an honor that your opinion matters that much.
Hell yeah. You should be honored and thrilled to be a part of this process. And if fatigue is impacting your vote, well, damn it, then give your vote away to somebody who's less tired. That's number one. The second reason Josh Allen wins this over Lamar is obviously narrative, right? If you look at the stats, Lamar is whipping his ass in most every category. He just is. Now, you could go try to find some kind of snap count or whatever the hell people have been doing online to try and justify why they think Josh Allen is the MVP. But Lamar had the better season. Lamar and the Ravens also beat Josh Allen and the Bills handily in the regular season, which is what this award is based off of. I get it. The Bills made up for it in the playoffs. That doesn't actually count as a data point to the actual vote. So, yes, the narrative is there for Josh Allen to win, but the actual resume based on this season went in favor of Lamar Jackson. Narrative played a big part in this, though, because a lot of people wrote off the Bills because of the departure of Stephon Diggs. I understand that as well, C-Cat. I get that when a guy leaves and you have a really good season, MVP is something you should be considered for. Similar to the Russell Westbrook MVP in the NBA back in 2016. KD leaves. Westbrook has all these triple-doubles. It wasn't super efficient, but it was really critical and important. He rose them to a level that we didn't think he could get him to. We crowned him MVP. Congratulations. I think the issue here, though, is people just really love the hell out of Josh Allen, bro. Like, he is such a likable figure. I think of all players in the NFL, would you say he has the highest Q rating? Like, there are very few Josh Allen haters.
Yeah, people hate people who love Josh Allen a lot, but
right.
People don't actually hate Josh Allen.
Yeah, like even me, even myself. Some people might say because of the takes I've given on this show that I'm a quote-unquote Josh Allen hater. I actually absolutely love watching Josh Allen play. I think he's an elite quarterback. I think he's a Hall of Fame level talent. I believe he also had an MVP-worthy season if it weren't for the other guy on the other side of him that we see shaking his hand there that had a better season. So there's a perception that there's hate for Josh Allen, but that's not the actual truth. The truth of the matter is the hate is directed towards the fans, the media types, and also the MVP voters who show clear bias in his favor, and by doing so, they are putting other players who are deserving on a smaller scale, on a smaller weight pool. You can tell that they had their MVP decided by week 5 or 6. Remember when Dan Orlovsky and Tony Romo were out there calling Josh Allen interceptions, arm punts, and good throws when they could have settled for a field goal, but instead he threw an interception, a pick? I've never seen it happen before, but it happened throughout this year. You also remember when Dan Orlovsky said like 7 or 8 weeks into the season, by the way, Orlovsky, ESPN, obviously, Get Up and everything, all the morning shows. He said early into the season that the MVP race was over when clearly it wasn't, and it proved to not be. The problem is Dan never moved off his spot. Dan never, as a voter, as a person who's supposed to be a responsible voter, never gave himself a door to open to actually reconsider who should be the MVP of the league. And from that time he called the race over to the end of the year, Lamar far outplayed Josh Allen, both statistically, and he rolls the Ravens up to a certain win level to where you can say they're comparable. Here's Dan Orlovsky today on Get Up trying to excuse the fact or the reason in which why he picked Josh Allen over Lamar Jackson for MVP while still saying that Lamar had the better season because he voted him first team All-Pro.
Value and how much you impact your team, who you do it with and who you do it against. That's where I thought Josh Allen had the upper hand.
Interesting.
Stop it right there, right quick, CK. You can stop it right there. You notice how everybody else on the desk is laughing at him? You notice how Dominique Foxworth, who again played in the league at corner and has a really good, smart view of the game, is just like laughing uncontrollably. The other voice you hear laughing on that desk is Jeff Saturday, former All-Pro center. Did he get in the Hall of Fame? I think he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
he should be. I think he's a gold jacket guy. I think he is. I can go ahead and say that. Jeff Saturday, Hall of Fame center who knows the game and played it well. Both of them believe Lamar Jackson was actually worthy of the MVP this year. Also, Tom Brady, who's a voted for Lamar Jackson as MVP, as well as other greats. But guys like Dan Orlovsky, who had their mind made up, who Josh Allen is their favorite player, still wanted to vote for Josh Allen. Did we look it up? Is Saturday a Hall of Famer?
Not a Hall of Famer.
Not a Hall of Famer. Wow.
Not yet, I don't think.
Probably like a Colts. He probably had the Colts ceremony as a, Ring of Honor guy, whatever.
Yes, he is in the Ring of Honor.
So let's go back now to the response, because I think this is the adequate response from Dominique Foxworth and Jeff Saturday to why, yes, you can contort yourself into a way in which you can call Josh Allen the MVP, but if we were keeping it G, if we did a blind resume and we put this up to the test, it would clearly be in favor of number 8 with the Ravens.
We disagree on this side of the table.
Did he say most valuable player for his team? Is this MVP of the league or of the Bills?
Oh, gosh. So, I think I'm glad that we have Dan here to defend him and the people who did this, but it does feel like you're trying to split the baby. Like, you don't got the heart to say what you actually want to say. I think both of them had MVP caliber seasons, but it feels like you are trying to find some little semantics trapdoors. You can give this to him and that to them, because you don't actually want to say what you really want to say.
Which is what?
Lamar Jackson had the best season this year. And maybe you could argue
but that's not the award, Don.
See, this is the semantics foolishness that we do. This is what you do. You say value. And the cool thing about value, it gives us on these shows a way to argue, because you can twist it and turn it any way you want. Normally, MVP means who's the best damn dude in the league.
Yeah.
And to me, obviously, Josh Allen had an MVP caliber season. But the best damn dude in the league this year was the guy who was first team All-Pro.
Clearly, Lamar Jackson did have the better year. Players who were asked this said Lamar Jackson's the MVP. When they did the player vote, current NFL players says, yes, Lamar is MVP, but Josh Allen gets the award. He's the first Bills player to get it since 1991. So this is not to rain on his parade. It is just to say this. When we start to let biases and we start to let favoritism murky the water on legacy-building awards and legacy-building accolades, we get into a very dangerous territory. So I'm glad that the Pro Football Hall of Fame voters didn't let their, rose-colored glasses and their view of Eli Manning, who's a media darling and is one of America's sweethearts, get in the way of making him an undeserving first-ballot Hall of Fame quarterback. And I'm a little disappointed in people like Dan Orlovsky and other MVP voters for giving Josh Allen the MVP award, not because he didn't deserve an MVP. I'm saying he's not an MVP-worthy player, but Lamar Jackson was clearly the MVP over him, C-Cat. And I know you are kind of split on this. You're a Ravens fan, but you also think Josh Allen's the better quarterback. If you look at it as objectively as you can, who do you think actually had the better season this year?
Who had the better? See, I honestly don't think Dan Orlovsky's crazy. I think that it's very apparent where if a guy carries 50 pounds 100 yards, that's impressive. But if a guy carries 75 pounds, 95 yards,